Got a new fishing pole for my brother. Best trade I ever made.
It's draw time with Mr. Mayberry. Time to draw.
Well, hi there. Welcome to day number 3 of Fishing Week on Draw Time with Mr. Mayberry. Today I'm going to show you how to draw 2 different types of fishing poles. The first one is a cane pole. It's made out of bamboo and has a fishing line that's attached to the end. The second type is a rod and reel, and the rod is made out of graphite and fiberglass, sometimes both, and it has a movable line, fishing line, that you can cast and then reel in once you've caught a fish. So that's what we're drawing today. So let's get started. Time to draw. First I'm going to start with the cane pole, and I'm going to start at the base. I'm going to make just a straight pole sticking up. So actually it sticks up at an angle. I'm going to start here at the base and slant up and just kind of fluid motion there. And then I want to make the pole just a little bit thicker, so I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm using the side edge of the pencil, not the end. And I'm kind of making it a little bit wider as I go down. It's not going to be super wide at the bottom. It's a skinny pole, but I want to add a little bit of thickness to it, a little bit of width to it. Then I'm going to make a ring up at the top. This is what's holding the fishing line. In fact, we could even draw the line coming down, straight down. You could also draw it at an angle, but at this point I'm just drawing one straight down. And then I'm going to make these little knobs here where the bamboo has divisions in it when it grows. It just grows in stages, and it makes these little knobs as it goes along. So that's what I'm adding to that. Now, after I have these, there's no reel at the end, so it's just a straight pole. I'm going to show you how to draw what it might look like if I've caught a fish, if I'm fighting with a fish a little bit. There's a little bit of bend, a little bit of give to the pole. Let me show you. Here's the actual pole again. When the fishing line is pulled down, there is a little bit of a bend to it. And hopefully, I mean, if the pole's new, it's not going to break on you. If you've had it for a while, there's a good chance it could snap. But I'm going to start at the bottom again, and I'm going to make this pole curve. I'm going to try another one here, and I'm going to make it curve as I go up like that. Alright, then it's the same procedure now, that just with a curved shape. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. It's okay if your line's not perfectly straight, because the pole, as you probably saw, is not a perfectly straight pole. It's crooked and curved. Alright, little segments as I go along, same as before, just a curved horizontal, kind of a curve at different intervals here. And then I can make this, I'm going to make this one like it's going off, like I've caught something, so it's at an angle, so I'm struggling, I'm pulling with it. So this is a cane pole. Okay, next we're going to be drawing the rod and reel, and instead of starting from the bottom on this one, I'm going to start from the top and go down. So I'm going to slant down at an angle, just a nice fluid motion. And at the bottom of the pole, the fishing rod, there's the handle, and the handle is quite a bit wider than the rest of the pole. So I'm going to start off by making it, and I'll shade it in here. And then there's this piece that kind of curves at the end. It's like a thumb rest or finger rest on the underside. The top of the pole, I'm going to go ahead and start real thin, and then it gets a little bit wider. It goes down. This time I am using the end of the pencil and not the side, and I go all the way down. It gets a little bit wider as it gets to the end. Okay, the reel is an oval, kind of a football shape, a little bit pointy on the ends, and then there's a band across the middle. I'm going to curve it just a little bit, 2 lines here. Can darken that in. And I'm also maybe shading in the bottom just a little bit. Then I'm going to put the handle out to this side and add the crank, the handle there. And then I'm going to go back up here and add the rings where the fishing line goes through. Now they're spaced out fairly evenly. The rings get bigger as they go down. And then I'm going to go ahead and string from the top of the reel all the way, make the line go through these rings and over the top and then down. Okay, so this, I'm going to make one more ring here, I think would be good. here's just the straight fishing rod. Now, they have some give to them, just like the cane pole does. In fact, a lot of times they'll bend a little bit more than a cane pole would. They're made out of a stronger stuff. I've even seen them bend almost in half as somebody was fighting with a fish. So they have a lot more bend to them. So I'm going to make this one, as it bends, I'm going to make a greater curve on it. I'm going to start at the top again and make a big curve and down. Again with the handle at the bottom, make it a little bit wider at the bottom. Gets somewhat narrower as it goes up. And there's a little rest for the thumb. Go ahead and I'm going to make the reel this time next. I'll do that. 2 lines for the middle part. Let's make the handle, the crank come out here to the side. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and let's start real thin and make the rod get a little bit thicker as it goes towards the base. Then I'm going to add the rings that now I'm sure they have an actual name, but these are the rings that the fishing line goes through. And then I'm going to start here, make the line come out and go through those rings. And since this is bent over, I'm going to make the line go out at an angle, just like we did with the cane pole. So this person is fighting with the fish here and struggling, trying to pull it in. So here's how to draw a rod and reel. Well, now that you've learned how to draw a fishing pole, let's see how we can add that to our big picture. Okay, here's what the big picture looks like today. I've used both types of fishing poles that we've drawn today. The first one was the cane pole, and I have this girl that's sitting on the dock holding the cane pole, and the line comes down to the water. I also have this man sitting in the boat, and he's got a rod and reel, and you can see it's bent just like I showed you how to draw it, as if he's fighting, or in this case he's holding a fish up that is heavy, and we're going to get to the fish later this week, so we'll get to that later. I've also changed the layout just a little bit. Instead of having the line curve across all the way here, I decided to make this like a little cove or inlet, so I've got a land rising out of the water here going back, and then also in the background I added some small trees. Again, they're actually larger trees, but because they're farther away they look small. So I have some fir trees all the way back across the back of the picture here. And by doing this, the way I did it, it also makes it look like the lake is a lot larger. It's a bigger expanse, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do that. So this is what the big picture looks like today. Well, thanks for taking time to draw with me today. Hope you'll come back tomorrow. And remember, if you want to be a good artist, do a little drawing every day.
Summer, 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 summer time. Oh yeah, that's a keeper.